Does the average person scrolling in their feed on Instagram know that, in general, women with androgenetic alopecia, female pattern baldness, are not candidates for hair transplants? I took my Invisalign out for this, so you know, it's gotta be important. I saw actually an ad, and I felt I needed just to make this video for anybody who does not know, because a lot of people don't know. We assume like things are common knowledge, or you know, nothing's common when it comes to like common knowledge when it comes to hair loss. No part of it. Not the loss, not the treatment, wigs, nothing. So, but the ad was being targeted to women with hair loss, and it was for hair transplantation. Now, this surgeon was, you know, show an example of a woman that was lowering her hairline and she didn't have hair loss. And in that case, she would have been a candidate. But when it's being targeted to women with hair loss, you might be thinking, oh, I could do that for myself. And I want to let you know that in general, I'm saying in general, it's not totally across the board, women are not candidates for hair transplantation. The reason for this is because in androgenetic alopecia, which is the diffuse pattern of balding, which is what I have and which is what a lot of women have, we're losing hair from all over our scalps. The sides, the tops, the back here, at the nape, all over. My hair doesn't come out from one part of my head and like the other part is fine. It's coming out from all over. And the way hair transplant works is, the reason why it works well for men is that men have an area of the scalp that has DHT resistant hair. So if you think of like George Costanza from Seinfeld, he maintained that wreath of hair in the back no matter how bald he was. So most men, unless they have like Dupa or something like that, are probably going to be a candidate for hair transplant, most likely. I mean, there are, again, exceptions for them as well, but they have a higher likelihood of having a good result, and it is a viable option for men. Women with androgenetic alopecia as a whole are not candidates. And I think that being really informed is super important, because while there are products being offered that aren't going to be effective, and people taking people's money, making false promises, and there's a bait and switch that goes on with wigs that I've seen on advertised like through Instagram. While that does occur, and the implications of that are that you're crushing someone's hopes, you're taking someone's money. In this scenario, you're actually potentially going to disfigure an individual. I said potentially, disfigure an individual. You're cutting into a person that may not even be a candidate for a hair transplant to have an end result. So anyway, they have to cut back here or take it out individually. So either with follicular unit extraction or follicular unit transplantation. So follicular unit transplantation is a strip, follicular unit extraction is individually, and they would be moving that hair to where you would need the hair to be. Perfect, except our hair is likely to just fall out again. So then you would have depending on the surgeon, if they weren't great or whatever, you could have this, you're gonna have a scar with FUT no matter what. But you could have, marking where the hair was put, whatever. I don't know all the details, but I do know I don't want to be cut when this isn't going to work for me. This would have been crushing if I went to that level of having that done, but I knew early on that that wasn't going to be an option. So you don't have to take my word for it. There are other resources that you can go to that would tell you the same thing if you're not sure. Spencer Coburn, who's the founder of the American Hair Loss Association and has the Bald Truth radio show, has an organization of hair transplant surgeons of the best in the world. And these physicians may do transplants on some women, but the women that they're doing it on are going to be candidates for the surgery. Those doctors are going to be honest with the patient. And also Joe Tillman, Hair Transplant Mentor, he did a podcast with me. His business is actually working with hair transplant doctors. He told me on the show, and he even gave the exact examples of, I don't even know what the percentage was, but it was in the 90s of the percentage of women that are not candidates and what the select few were. That's like online, that you can hear it on my podcast, or it's on YouTube, and it's probably, I don't know if it's on Instagram. But Spencer Stevenson, Specs Hair, his job is working with hair transplant surgeons. I'm sure he will tell you the same thing, because people that are honest would be honest with this knowledge. And so that advertisement was disturbing for me because, well, I may know this, and while you watching this may know this because you read it somewhere or you found out somehow, does the average person scrolling in their feed on Instagram know that in general, women with androgenetic alopecia, female pattern baldness, are not candidates for hair transplants? I'm gonna guess most likely they don't. So this is my share so that you can also be informed and you can share with other people and other women that may not know, because who's looking out for us except for us? So, I mean, there are some strong advocates for sure in this industry, but there it was for the first time, that advertisement. And I was like, really? I mean, really? So, okay. Anyways, please feel free to share your thoughts and comments and share this with anybody you think can actually benefit from this knowledge. Talk to you guys later. Bye.